When people would talk about Rachel, they would say that she was amazing. She was one of those people that when she walked into the room, you couldn't help but draw to her. Everyone liked Rachel. In fact, everyone loved Rachel. But on April 19th, 1999, 2 boys from Rachel's high school took fate into their own hands. They were armed with explosives and did a massive shooting attack on their peers and their teachers. When these 2 boys took Rachel Scott's life, little did they know that it wouldn't tear people apart, but bring people together.
First, I knew Rachel because she came to our youth group, and she also came to my cell group on Monday nights, and she was a leader on my leadership team, and I used to pick her up every Monday and take her to cell group, and I'd have hours just to talk to her there and back each way. And what I wanted to say about Rachel,
that is how I know you go.
she was an amazing girl. She had this fun, full of life side where she had like so much energy and she made people laugh. And she'd wear these crazy hats sometimes and dress like these crazy ways just to be different. She was never ever afraid of being her own person. That's what she wanted to be. And I always admired that strength that she had. And then she had this really deep, thoughtful side. And she'd write poetry, and she cared so much about people. And through it all, there's this passion and this love that she had for God and for people that consumed her life. It consumed everything about her. She had 2 dreams. She wanted to make an impact for God, and she wanted to live in His presence all the time. And it's amazing to me that God has fulfilled both in her death. God's given her her dreams. And I just want to say that she was an inspiration to me in life and even in her death. And I'm honored. I'm so honored to have had a chance to have invested such an incredible person. I love you, Rachel. I'm going to see you in heaven someday.
I'd hold you in my life.
As I sit back and watch that memorial service of Rachel Scott, I can't help but feel a sense of sorrow. But not only sorrow, I feel a sense of joy. There's a joy in knowing that she impacted so many people in her brief life. And with this, I began to think, if I died today, what would my funeral be like? Who would come? What would I be remembered for? Would you remember me? Or just my face? Would you remember me? Or just what I did or who I hung out with? Would I remember you? Would I remember you? Or just what you wore and what you did on the weekends? What would you be remembered for? Looking back at high school, it's all been kind of a blur. Nothing really stands out to me. It's a whole bunch of memories just faded away. It's all sort of fuzzy. I can't really remember all the games we went to, who won, what we did afterwards, what movie we saw. I really can't remember any of it. But the only thing I really do remember are the relationships that I made and the people that impacted me. Then I began to think, have I impacted anyone? Have I made a difference in someone else's life? Would I be remembered? Many people, when they reach the end of their life, they say that their life was like a blur, kind of like I described high school. And I've realized that I don't want my life to be a blur. I don't want it to be a whole bunch of faded away memories. I want to be an impact. I want to be different, and I want to be remembered. I don't want to just have this big legend. I want to leave a legacy. I want to leave something real, something for people to follow. If you're sitting here wondering if you've made an impact on someone else's life and realize you haven't, don't get discouraged. It's really not too late. It's not too late to make a difference. It's not too late to make a choice, a decision. It's not too late to change, to be a better person, to have a fresh start. It's not too late to love. Before I was a Christian, my heart was cold. My life was just a blur. Nothing really mattered to me. I remember walking through the hallways and just being like a brick wall. I was unable to be loved, and I was unable to love anyone. I didn't care about anyone or anything. My life was just blah. I didn't know what I was living for. I would wake up every day and wonder why I was on earth. But since then, I found meaning to this life. I found meaning through Jesus. And now, everything's better, and I'm able to love and to have good relationships and be able to show people that I care about them. So, on this night in 2007, what do you want to be remembered for? After you graduate, will I remember you? Will you remember me? Or will you remember anything at all? Just know that you can make a difference. You can make a choice. You can love and make a decision to have a best friend and to change your life. I leave you with this poem, and I challenge you to live in a way to be remembered and to make an impact. It's called Potential, and it's by John Maxwell. You and your talents are not an accident. You are special in God's eyes. You have distinct gifts and talents. You have shoes to fill that no one else can wear. Inside you is enormous potential, just waiting to be developed and put to use. You can make an impact. It's your choice. It's not too late. Be remembered.